Hello everyone, my name is Kez, and this is the demo for Yes Your Grace Snowfall by Brave at Night. If you're watching this video, this means that the demo is already available on Steam right now, and if you like what you see, then don't hesitate to add it to your wishlist. Now, without further ado, I'm just going to jump straight into a new game. Oh, I've been very excited about Yes Your Grace Snowfall. I've been having a look at the development, played through the beta.
What's the difference between a common man and a king? Both make mistakes, but a king's decisions affect the lives of many. One decision in particular still weighs heavy on the heart of the King of Davon. This story starts with a pledge to bestow the hand of his unborn daughter. Years passed, until one day the barbarians came, demanding what had been promised. To protect Lorsulia, Eric invited his wealthy neighbors to forge an alliance. Perhaps it was King Talus's desperate search for a book to cure his wife that enticed him to visit. A deal was struck that sealed the fate of Lorsulia, an army in exchange for a wedding to Talus's son. Amidst the splendor of the wedding, King Talus took a fatal sip from a tainted chalice. In the heat of the moment, King Eric was accused of murder. With the promised armies withdrawn and Lorsulia whisked away to the faraway capital of Atana, Eric found himself embroiled in a royal trial and proved his innocence. With Atana's forces ready to help, Eric marched his army to defeat the hordes of barbarians once and for all. But the battle revealed Davon's true enemy, Prince Ivo of Atana, who ignored the signal to join the battle. By sheer luck, Eric emerged victorious, but the victory tasted bitter upon his tongue. To Eric's despair, Lorsulia was now in the hands of a traitor. Nothing could have been done to prevent the inevitable. The murder of Eric's daughter marked the beginning of countless witch hunts. Ivo used her image as an excuse to cleanse the land of Davon by fire as his armies descended upon Grevno Castle. The siege of Grevno lasted for weeks and shook its walls to their core. But at last, Eric's wit, bravery, and enduring alliances brought the conflict to an end. Ivo was put to justice, and Davon enjoyed peace for the first time in months. The slow process of healing and rebuilding had begun. But in the archives of Grevno, a certain rare book still lies in wait. It will fuel a new wave of deceit.
A very strong opening. That was more or less the background of the first game, and now we are going to recap some of the smaller details about what happened in our previous playthrough. Now, I have played through Yes Your Grace, but I don't remember all of the details, so I'm going to put in what I remember and then we'll see from there. So I hope that this overview was to your satisfaction, Your Grace. I still have many details to write up, and thus, this is only the beginning. Would you like to answer my questions now, or would you rather have me fill in the blanks? I want to ensure that you've captured all the details. Not to worry, Your Grace. If you can't remember some details, just let me know and I'll bridge the gaps. Let's begin. Tell me about Queen Aurelia. Did you ever go through with a ritual to help her conceive a male heir? I decided to go with the ritual. It was very risky. And what about the heir? We had a baby boy. I remember this because I said that I still wanted our daughters to have the crown over our baby boy. It doesn't necessarily make him a true heir. Everything went as hoped, and we managed to get an heir. Not long after the prince was born, we were also blessed with a baby girl. Now we got 2 babies. Next. What about your middle daughter, Asalia? What happened when you found out about her secret love for a Redovian girl? I let her go with Maya. I decided that the 2 of them needed love, and she needed to go and explore the world and find herself and just be happy. So I let her go. Of course, who can stand in the way of love? Thalia went to explore the world with Maya. And what happened with our sweet pea, Princess Sedani? She survived the final battle. The king made sure that Sedani was safe. Of course. It was the bear that helped, correct? Yes, Sedani had a bear, like, highlight. Highlight of the playthrough was the bear. And the fox, and the hedgehog, and the snail, but the bear was amazing. And she loves this bear to bits. On that note, let us review the fate of the other royal agents. What happened to Stan, your loyal general? Now, I honestly don't remember what happened to Stan or our witch. I'm going to assume that they survived because there's no other thing that says I don't remember. So I'm going to say that he survived the war bravely. Thanks to the mining equipment, we didn't have to risk anyone's life. And now, what about our witch? She also survived. We used flares to scare the Etana men, and Elena remained safely with us. Now, Your Grace, do you remember the royal trial? It was held to determine who poisoned King Talus of Etana. Who did you accuse? I don't remember this royal trial, so I'm going to feign ignorance and say the who and what now. That's understandable, no need to worry. Naturally, this all led to our war with Etana. But you had an ally come to help you in the end, did you not? I honestly can't remember who those people are. I only remember things about my family, and everyone outside of that family are, like, unimportant. That's why I'm here, to keep record. Let me put down King Fabian arrived in the last moment, piercing through Etana's army. We're almost finished now, Your Grace. What became of King Bayron of Redovia? I'm fairly sure I spared the king. The real enemy was Etana. And finally, speaking of our enemy, there was no way that you could have saved your daughter Lusulia from the evil Prince Ivo. What retribution did you choose for him? I think I executed Ivo. He burnt our daughter at the stake. And also killed her cat. So, yeah. No mercy for the Prince of Lies. May his filthy soul be damned for his unforgivable crimes. Amen. And we are done. I know some of these events can't have been a pleasure to recall, Your Grace. But it's important we set the record accurately. Nonetheless, it's been a year since the battle with Etana. Many things have happened since. A newborn baby, new allies in trouble, a new threat arising, cold months approaching. Let's get into it. And the flames that keep everyone warm at night still rage in the king's mind. Your Grace, everyone is getting impatient. I'll just grab something warm and put on the crown. Alright. Use A and D to walk and press F to interact with your surroundings. Excellent. So we can pick up our fur. It is winter time. Trouble keeps coming to our door, doesn't it? Absolutely. And we can put on our crown. It is heavy. I have my own family to take care of. He is an old friend, though. Alright, who is this old friend? Let's find out. Eric? And what? Any thoughts? Hang on, lad. Honestly, if I knew it would end like this, I wouldn't have come here. I have no idea how he found your castle. I didn't want to endanger your family. You're putting us in a tough spot here, Jakob. Oh, without your help, we will be forced to give up our lands to Kafka. So he sent us some wine. Maybe it's a gesture of goodwill. I am at war with Kafka, and you are really willing to drink this. What if it's poisoned? Clearly, he knew I was coming here. He's always 2 steps ahead, as cunning as he is wealthy. Unless you want him as your neighbor. We should work together. Eric, a moment. Okay. Something going on? I told you this wasn't a friendly visit. Old friends don't just appear out of nowhere not wanting anything. You don't have to help him. I feel like we're already in this mess. Am I supposed to let him bleed out? The prince and I also need your help. He is not getting any better. Oh dear. Our son is in bad health. Of course I'm worried about our son. Jakob is not wrong, though. Next thing you know, Kafka comes for us. What then? Is it not better to let Jakob deal with him instead of waging a full-blown war? And he brings his son with him? Is that to try and sway us? Like we don't have enough kids around. But you said I would be able to look through the books after this. Timo, just give us a moment. Maybe later. Eric, have you made up your mind? Is everything alright? I've heard the prince isn't doing the best. He will get out of it, right? The things we do for family, huh? I don't actually have men or resources to help you. I do want to help him, though. He's an old friend. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. We will have to play it smart. You will have to find a way to provoke him and lead him straight to Grevno. Once he gets here, we will ambush from an outpost and crush him against the walls. But the wall? Oh, the queen has a fair point. After your war with Atana, there doesn't seem to be much wall left. Don't worry. By the time you get there and back, the wall will be fixed. Fair. I hope I can count on you. One last thing. Can I leave my son with you? He will be safer here, and besides, it's difficult to travel with him. Eric. He's coming! She's coming! Not now, Sadani. She's coming! Sadani is so excited. Can we be done now? Oh. I've got this. I appreciate it, Eric. Later that day. Oh, week 1 already. Big plans, Your Grace. Big plans. Lord Jakob's visit wasn't in our favor, but we will manage. Nonetheless, duty calls. The people of Davin will queue in the throne room to petition you. Many are struggling since our war with Atana. There is not always enough to go around. Let us hope for a smooth week then. Don't worry, I'm here to help. And oh, Your Grace, after we've dealt with the petitioners, please see the General in the council room. I believe he has some information regarding possible outpost sites. Okay, press Q and E to select an object you want to interact with. Alright, so we can choose between 3 objects. So these are the petitioners to our left, and one of those petitioners is our very own wife. We can select ourselves to get on and off the throne, and we can also select our advisor, you know, if he has something going on. He doesn't have anything really much to say, so let's hear out what our wife has to say. Don't fret, darling. The decision has been made. We will work it out. I suppose new company might be good for Sidani. Can you check in on her? She's so excited about her sister visiting, and we kind of brushed her off. Of course, my beloved. Oh, yes. Before I leave, what do you want to do with the wine? I will hand it out to the people. I don't think it's poisoned. And it would be kind of uncouth if we kept it to ourselves, if we can just hand it out to the people. And besides, it does give us some resources, so yeah. I doubt the wine is poisoned. I will give it to the people. It might sway some grumpy minds towards us. At least it's not going to be wasted. I'll let the servants know. Oh, baby time. That's my cue. I will feed them and maybe try to get some sleep. Good luck out there. Alright. Thanks, wife. Alright, let's hear our petitioners. Your Grace, I come beseeching some aid. With the cold, wet weather, our fence posts don't hold up like they used to. Well, last night, I woke up to find all my livestock gone a-roaming. Pigs, sheep, cattle. Can't find a one. And I'm a farmer, see, so it's a sorry situation. Please, Your Grace, spare some strong hands to help round up all our stock. Alright, so this is one of the mechanics of the game when we help out petitioners. Sometimes this does happen, and other times you just make a decision and then they will come back again, hopefully. But this is what happens most of the time when you're helping out a petitioner. So we need to fill up the scenario board to the first green point. We use A and D to select an agent, press F to send them, and confirm your choices by holding N. You can also reset by pressing R, and you can also just wait. You have 2 agents. There's Stan and there's Elena, and they give plus 30 to the scenario board. So we're going to send Elena. We don't need any necessary traits. You can see that there are 2 traits that Stan and Elena have each. Stan is organized and disciplined, and Elena has insightful and seasoned. And these will come into play later on when we start getting more traits to fulfill petition requests. So right now we don't need any specific traits, so I'm going to give this task to Elena. The other thing to note here is that there are those 3 dots on the side of the portrait, and those dots are basically the amount of times that you can send them out on a petition. You can send out the same agent more than once on one petition for as many dots as they have, so I can send Stan out twice to fill this up to 60. And I'm going to press R to not do that because we don't need to. We just need to assign 1. And then once they've basically gotten through all of their dots, filled out all their assignments, then we need to pay them their wages to basically refresh those dots at the end of the week. We'll show you that just now. But for now, let's just send Elena and confirm. This sounds urgent indeed. I hope this will be enough to help you. Your Grace, all my thanks. In hard times, a ruler's true legacy is forged, forsooth. Our little village won't soon forget this. Hold C to view happiness and prosperity levels. So, C is basically our crown, and this beautifully designed UI basically tells us the health of our kingdom. So our happiness is the blue bar, we're at 50 out of 100. Our influence is 40 out of 800. Think of this more as an experience bar than anything else. So as you fill up influence, your kingdom will gain a level. And what you do with those levels and what you do with that experience, we will get to later. And then the third bar is prosperity. We are at 15 out of 100. We will talk about prosperity when we finish off the week, but we get prosperity by finishing quests and also fulfilling petitions. As well, on either side of the crown, we've got our gold, which helps us to buy things, and supplies, which help us with exploration. More on that later. And then we have our threat meter. Great. It's a disaster, Your Grace. All the little ones. The children in our village have fallen sick, Your Grace. They've all come up with spots. A rash? Yes, always the same one. First, a big red patch, then lots of little spots. Then comes the fever, the itching. Please, Your Grace, the parents are all beside ourselves. Your Grace, this is the perfect task for our witch. He is very skilled at treating illness. All right, so we have Elena is going to step up to the plate. She now has plus 40 because she is quite, she's going to be quite diligent at this task. But that's not going to fulfill it. It's still not going to, you know, make that request valid. So we kind of have to put her in twice, as it were, so that we can fulfill the request. We can also make up those, you know, the rest of those points with Stan. It doesn't really matter. But I'm just going to put Elena twice. We get 25 prosperity for that. Our court witch is well versed in sickness and medicine. She will surely ease the pain. Ah, Your Grace is a merciful ruler indeed. A bitter winter is to come, but the smallest of us still need care. Thank you, Your Grace. Your kindness will bring ease to the children. Helping petitioners and completing your quests will increase your influence. Full influence bar will increase your kingdom level. And then once your influence gets filled up, then it resets again. Last one. Please, hear me out, Your Grace. A vicious storm blew through our township last night, snapping pines like they were toys. Now there is a real mess. Fallen trees everywhere, roofs smashed in. In the end, perhaps it will make for plenty of firewood, but we need help to clean up and make repairs, Your Grace. We are short of tools, but even some food will help. Please lend us your support. Cool. So we do have food. We have some dried rations. Our wine doesn't actually help us. We maybe should have used the wine, actually, for the previous illness petition. I didn't even see that. All right. So we can send Stan twice, but that's still not going to be enough. So we need to use the dried ration in our inventory to make sure that we can fulfill this petition. Here, I hope this will be enough for you. Oh, thank Perun, and thank Your Grace. Our prayers are answered. We will come back all the stronger in honor of our king. You can step down from the throne by pressing F. Okay, so now we can roam around the castle. We can go in and out of these screens if we want to, but you can also press tab, and that will bring up several screens. So we can use Q and E to go between those screens. So this is the castle view. It allows you to travel to your chosen locations. Use WAS and D to select the location, press F to confirm. These are the archives. This is what's currently happening in your kingdom, and also it gives us a view of what all your tasks are, how far along you are with your quests. So if you're feeling stuck, or you don't know what to do, or you can't remember what happened to a quest from, you know, loading up a save however many hours later after you play this game, then you can come here to remind yourself. And yeah, right now we can't access the map, but we will now when we go to the council room. Great. And here is Sidani's bear, having a lovely snooze. Ever since Wojtek started hibernating, Sidani lost interest in gathering more agents. Maybe that's for the better. I was worried about what she would have come up with next. I know she was getting, like, gradually bigger with her agents, her animals that she would bring to court, and I'd be kind of worried about what bigger than a bear she will find. So have a great hibernation. Alright, what's our plan to help Lord Jakob? Ah, Your Grace, it's great to see you. I have an update on our plan to help Lord Jakob. Why is Baron Kafka at war with Lord Jakob? I've had so many details to keep track of. I want to be certain I understand his position. Baron Kafka has been aggressively expanding trade routes to support his wine business. Oh, okay, that makes sense why he sent some wine. He is building a major trade route that will connect him directly with our enemies in Etana. It goes right through Lord Jakob's lands, leaving him stranded from a trade perspective. I think it's his late wife's property. I'm not sure, but it seems the land has a sentimental value to him. A strong trade relationship between Kafka and Etana will surely leave us at a disadvantage as well. Okay, let's hear the details. We need to ensure Kafka doesn't know he's walking into a trap. Did you manage to finesse my plan? Certainly. We need to gather a few basic supplies to create an outpost, so we can drive Kafka right where we want him. I found 3 sites that would be suitable. Each has its strengths and weaknesses. Take a look at your map and mark the location you wish us to prepare. I will take care of the rest. We have 3 weeks to decide. Here, these supplies should be a good starting point. And of course, the wall. The wall, yes. What do we need? The master builder is awaiting you at the construction site. He will be able to provide more details. It might be tough, but with a little bit of luck, we can do it in time. Alright, now we have the map tutorial. As you unlock points of interest, POI, they will be displayed on the map. The first visible points of interest indicate the 3 outpost sites. Use WAS and D to select a POI and explore it. So here are the 3. We can check them out. For now, these don't require supplies, but as we get more leads, more quests, we hear out some petitioners, then that also will unlock more points where we can explore on the map. So let's check out each of these and see, what advantages and disadvantages each location has in the ambush for Kafka. The Curvy Thicket. The Curvy Thicket is a maze to the enemy, but well known to us. If we build an outpost in the thicket, our soldiers could hide themselves among the trees. Sounds good. And attack when the enemy rides through, pushing them towards our walls. The drawback is that this is the furthest location from our castle. It will take longer to push Kafka towards the wall. The woods are also challenging from a visibility standpoint. Total chaos seems just as likely a success, to be frank. Still, time is short and supplies are few. Choosing this site would be better than nothing. Alright, so this site is incredibly good, but it seems like the game is telling us that this is kind of the last resort. If we can't muster up any more camp supplies than this little scrap of linen, then this is what we have to make do with. But for now, we can just decline. We're only just scouting these locations. Best to return to this location once we gather enough supplies or consider the other areas. Okay, let's check out the northern footbridge. Lord Jakob will cross the northern footbridge and Kefka's army will shortly follow. If our armies lie in wait on the riverbank, we'll be able to surprise the enemy and control their direction. The thick canes and grass should provide us with more than enough of a hiding spot. This location looks like a good choice for the outpost, even though it requires a little more work to prepare. The location is not far, but the mud and cold might prove challenging. Okay, So we will need at least 30 camp supplies to get this encounter. So something to kind of keep in mind. Let's look at the last location, which is the Straw Village. During the last year's war, Atana left nothing but a field of despair. Rumors say the village is haunted, filled with old rags and bones. It might take some extra convincing for our men to stay at this location. Hefka's army might not be aware of these rumors, but surely even they won't think to try to look through the rubble. The location is closest to Grevno, meaning it will be the easiest to push the enemy towards the wall. Okay, so we will need at least 50 supplies. So one is just the bare minimum, 10 supplies, the second is 30 supplies, and the third is 50. Yes. All right, we'll decline. We only need to make a decision in week 3. All right, let's close this up and have a chat to our daughter and check out how little Timo's going. You have a very beautiful castle. Great. Boy of short words and sentences. Hello, my... Oh, she's absolutely a silly pickle. Silly pickle? Silly pickle? I don't know what you mean. Father, Timo is here. And he's silly pickle. Yes, father? Are you preparing for Asalia's arrival? This is, after all, what she was so excited for with the letter. I hear you've had a letter from your sister. Wait, you knew? Asalia is visiting us in 8 weeks. Should I get her a pet? A sword. No, that's too grand. She'll think I care. It's Asalia we're talking about. It's been so long and there's just so much pressure. Maybe you could perform a song. You do have a nice voice. Your sister would be proud. No, that would not be special enough. It must be something truly grand, something unforgettable that screams Asalia. Luckily, I also have Timo to help me. We could read her a book. How about this one? Timo, this is serious. She won't be impressed by that. Be nice to your guest, silly pickle. I'm sorry. It's just all very stressful. What if I tell you a little bit about Asalia? She's adventurous, rides bisons, fights with swords. She loved to do various pranks too. Uh-oh. I don't want to know where that leads, but it's probably going to be trouble. We'll find out in the next week, perhaps. Let's go to the wall. We need to talk with our master builder. Your Grace. How does it look? It seems these repairs will never end. Oh, the war with Atana caused a great deal of damage to Grevno's defenses, Your Grace. Rebuilding something grand for a second time is always a challenge, but our dedication to the effort is paying off. The wall and its garrisons will soon gleam good as new. That is just as I hoped to hear. I will certainly sleep better when Grevno is behind strong walls again. To say nothing of our plan to ambush Lord Jakob's enemies. Without the wall, we'll fail. Oh, speaking of, there is just a small, tiny problem, Your Grace. Of course. Let's hear it. The recent limestone deliveries are thinner and thinner. We're missing some rocks that would help us build the whole thing. Don't need to worry, it's nothing huge. We just need 3 tons and it will be done. I'm sure the king has the right connections. Very well, I will see what can be done. The yellow next turn button is an indication that all required tasks have been completed. Press and hold N to progress to the next week. All right, we can do that, but there is someone I want to talk to first. King Eric, how's it going? Rather informal way to greet your king, don't you think? Sorry, Your Grace. I'm more the sort of person who talks with my hands. Understand? Tell me more. With your hands, eh? They do look very strong. Your Grace, what would the Queen say? Unfortunately, I am very busy right now. I'm Vesa, professional stone crusher at your Grace's service. Thank you for your work. You break stone by hand? With tools, silly. But I bet there's no nut in the world I couldn't crack. If you're a gambling man, maybe we'll put it to the test someday. I think I'd better get back to my duties. That'll be all, Vesa. Alright. Really cool little NPC. Just adding a little bit of flavor to the workers on our castle. So now that we have fulfilled all of our quests and obligations for the week, let us end it. Now we get to kind of the business end. And here we can talk more about prosperity. So prosperity level can be used to collect taxes. Higher prosperity will make people more willing to support their king. You can, of course, demand more from them at the cost of reducing their happiness. Unused prosperity will go towards your influence, so make sure you distribute it wisely. So, yeah, prosperity doesn't hold over between weeks. So you will be able to, you need to kind of distribute it. So either you can pull it into taxes, or you can increase happiness, or once you finish it off, then your influence will rise if you don't spend your prosperity. I don't really use prosperity for influence because it is really so little. So that's all that we will do. We're going to use most of our prosperity for taxes because we need to pay the wages of our helpers, our staff. So we probably need most of this, but don't worry because you can go between different tabs. So there are different things that you can do at the end of the week. So you can either press N for next to go to the next window, or you can use Q and E to go between them. And that's actually quite handy because maybe you needed more gold, or maybe you can just increase happiness instead. You know, it's fine. So here, this is quite interesting. You can pass the laws of Davin. Your kingdom level will determine how many laws you're able to pass. Every kingdom level will allow you to pass a law. So that's very cool. I did not realize that there would be some kind of skill tree or laws or whatever. I think that this is a cool new addition. So right now we have access to just 2 for the demo. We've got Protection of Sacred Rights, which reduces the witch's weekly cost to 18 gold. And then Banquet at the Court, where Queen Aurelia will throw a feast, and then we can get 20 max prosperity, which is quite cool. We can hold more prosperity from week to week. We don't have any points because we haven't leveled up yet, so let's move on. And here you can view your royal agents. They are an important part of keeping your populace happy. You can enlist new ones, heal them if they get wounded, and be sure to pay their salary to refresh their agent deeds. Okay, so we definitely need to refresh their deeds. So let's pay 18 for Stan and 20 for Lena, which leaves us with 2 gold. But we do have 3 deeds each for our witch and our general. So I'm going to use the rest to collect taxes just so that we have enough, because this will be quite useful in our... Ooh, I was demanding happiness. Okay, I went a little bit over, but that's okay. We can get happiness back. The next tab is the marketplace. You can buy items that will help you keep your petitioners happy. So we can help them keep them happy, which is probably what we need to do since we kind of extorted them for taxes. We can also buy supplies, and these supplies are crucial to help us get progress in quests. So we needed some camp supplies for those 3 areas. We also needed 3 tons of limestone, so we can also buy 3 limestone with our gold. There's also a supplies barrel with a lot of that is like a lot of gold, but also it's 30 plus 30 to camp. So yeah, there are quite a few options that you can go for. And what is really nice is that you are given a selection of like outposts that you can prepare your ambush. So you can really choose whether you want to sink all of your money into preparing for that one, or if you want to even it out a little bit. So I think I want to even it out a little bit because I do want to have a lot of supplies so that we can just explore the kingdom a little bit more. I think that's going to be the aim of the demo, is to just show you as much as I can of what we got available, right? So I'm going to buy just 1 linen for now, and so that we can work towards at least the middle option. We need just 30 camp supplies, and we'll use the rest for sturdy boots. Great. So we are left with 3 gold. And then we get to the transactions panel. So this is basically a summary of all of your expenses. In the transaction panel, you can see an overview of this week's transactions. Use the clear tab button on each screen to start distributing your resources again. So this is really what you got. We got 44 from taxes, and we also got +2 taxes from our happiness, which was a little bit of a waste, but it's totally fine. We'll leave it as it is. We paid Stan and Elena, and we got some linen and sturdy boots. So let's move on to week 2. Okay, people's happiness is falling. We know this already. Don't panic. We'll get it up again. I wonder how Timo is adjusting. He still seems so shy with me. Sidani should look after him, but it seems like her head is in the clouds a bit, and my hands are full, quite literally. I'll look in on him if I can find a moment. Okay. The queen always thinks about others and leaves herself until last. I better see how she is managing as well. That's a good option. Okay, let's go through our line of petitioners since we're sitting here. I come with a serious matter, Your Grace. My name is Yanka. I trade in all kinds of trinkets and artifacts. Most recently, rare creatures. Let me guess. Griffins? Goblins? How do I put this? The swans have stolen my lions. Come again? You have my attention. This sounds really interesting. This sounds like it would be good. Let me guess. The swans breathe fire? The lions can fly? No, no, no. There's a real explanation, Your Grace. You know the swans, right? The famous bandit gang? I was transporting some lions for a lord when the swans ambushed me on the road. Now, my lions are gone. The lions? I didn't think there were lions in Devon. It was a delivery job from Caladur, Your Grace. I thought, who'd be daring enough to attack a cart full of snarling lions? As it turns out, the swans were. Lions are extremely valuable after all. Okay, let's ask about the swans. Not a very intimidating name for bandits, if you ask me. Ooh, they're quite a nasty bunch, they are. Polite, but nasty. I've heard of them, but aren't they supposed to be plundering far west of here? Elegant bandits, they steal from you, then apologize, right after. As if the apology makes it any better. Apologize right after. That's it. That's exactly what they did. Honestly, I did appreciate the gesture, but I want my lions back. You're the lion wrangler, Yanka. How do you expect me to help? At least 3 lions escaped their cage when the swans attacked my cart. All I ask is that you keep an eye out for them. If your agents ever spot one, Make sure to let me know exactly where. I will handle the rest and compensate you for your effort and time. The local inn north of here could be a good place to start the search. Surely someone's seen something. Or you could try looking for them on your own. I will see what can be done. Appreciated. Find me at the wall if you ever need anything, Your Grace. I will gladly show off my repertoire of trinkets and other useful items. Ooh, so we got a few new points of interest, and we have a new quest, and we've got a shop that we can go to. So this lady, the Lion Wrangler, sets up a shop very close to the wall, and we can go and buy things during the week and not have to wait until the end of the week, which is quite nice. Your Grace, hear me out. I know people don't usually care for cats, but I love mine. The farmer next to me started luring her inside and feeding her whatever garbage he wants. She comes home less and less often, and when she does, she just gets fatter and fatter. I know that with winter on its way, it's probably a luxury problem, but I'm worried about her nutrition. Please, send somebody to deal with my neighbor, or give me something that will help me talk him out of it. Okay, right. I'm running a kingdom. It's about to be winter. We are dealing with an ambush with another, kingdom. I don't think, and I love cats, you know. You saw my cat wandering around here. But I don't think this sounds serious. Like, talk to your neighbor, maybe. Don't bring this to me and waste my agent's time. Although we do need to improve on happiness. So let's see what we can do. You can rely on me. So maybe we can just give them 2 bottles of wine. Show up to the neighbor's house with 2 bottles of wine, and hopefully that'll help you out. Yeah? Yeah. We only need to do the bare minimum for this lady, but hopefully we'll be able to increase happiness while we're at it. That should do the trick. Yes, definitely. Thank you, Your Grace. All right. Didn't increase happiness, but we got a little bit of prosperity, so I guess that counts. Gods test our patience, Your Grace. My wife broke her leg, and now I am left alone with all the work. The children aren't old enough to help out. Much of our crop will go to waste. Our potatoes won't go around the entire village. Many won't eat tonight. Your Grace, we desperately need food or a willing helper. No, absolutely. We will help you. So this is a request that could improve your reputation. Allocating more resources and reaching the bonus state will result in higher prosperity reward, which is quite cool. So the bonus state is like far out of our reach. Let's forget about it. But at the very least, we can give them some wine. We can give them Stan. We can give them Elena. So we can actually... That'll be like over the top. I don't think we need that much. We can just give them 2 of our agents, and that should be enough. I don't think... Maybe if we, overcompensate, we might get more happiness. I don't know. No, I think it's fine. I'll just give them 2 of our agents for now. Our supplies are sparse, but I'm afraid this is all I can give. Or to tell the truth, we hope for more, but every little bit helps, I guess. Thank you, Your Grace. She won't leave me alone. Ain't proper to go without a husband. Don't you want a man to look after you? Week after week, my mother sends a new lad to me door. Fellas turning up, eyes full of hope, thinking they got themselves a wife. I told her I ain't looking to marry. I got me wood cutting, that's my joy. And if I did marry, it wouldn't be to Danilo, Feder, or Vasily. Wouldn't be one of them, Your Grace. Do you understand? I'm sure your mother means well. But I can't see how our methods can be unwelcome. Give me an agent of yours, anyone will do. I'll bring him back, of course. Just let me borrow one to parade around me mum. She'll see I've got someone, and the matchmaking will have to stop. I need to improve happiness. I need to improve happiness. Let's do it. This is a potentially fruitful request. To gather more additional rewards, try to position your agents on the gift effect. Okay. So we can just do this and make Stan be the pretend husband. We can also make Elena be the pretend husband, which is quite hilarious. Or at least not hilarious, but like, I quite like that. Let's just send Stan. It's totally fine. We don't need to send any more agents, and then we'll just pay his wages at the end. Oh, we also get a coin for our troubles. Fine. I know what it's like to want peace and quiet. You should still talk to your mother. I'm sure she'll understand. Oh, praise Perun. The other plans was to send her a note saying I was dead. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cool. Right. With that done, let's head to our bedroom so that we can have a chat to our wife. And she's having a snooze. All right. So we can also go around and, like, let's explore our room a little bit, starting with our daughter. Here's my little sweet pea, my little... And here we can choose the name for our daughter. I'm going to choose Amelia. So Lusulia is our first daughter who passed away, or who was burned at the stake, I guess. Aurelia is our wife. And Amelia, that's a new name. I think we should give her a new name. You've tried for so long and then suddenly it's like you can't catch a break. Either surviving the war makes you more frivolous, or the fact that nowadays there are fewer children in the castle to ruin the night. Okay? This is an artist's rendition of Grevno Castle. He's captured the way the sunset always seems to burnish every tower and rampart. So beautiful, our home. I'm pleased he painted it with the wall intact. Life imitates art, after all. And we can try to change the painting, but we don't have any paintings to change, and so we will leave it. Another one. This painting of flowers looks simple from far away, but up close I can see that several individual colors were used to give each petal life. That's cool. It looks like an embroidery almost, which is quite cool. Unfortunately, let's wake up our wife. I wanted to see how you were doing. Oh, you startled me. I must have dozed off. I'm sorry to wake you, darling. It's all right. It's the little one. He can't get comfortable. How is our... And now we can choose the name of our son. I quite like Ernest. How is Ernie holding up? How are you holding up? I hope there's a way we can heal his ailment. No one knows, correct? Not easy to keep this a secret. People talk. Jakob already knows something is up. Apart from the doctor, it's just us. But it's especially difficult with Sedani around. Can you imagine if people found out? I prefer to focus on solutions. I don't even know what is going on with our son, but it sounds very mysterious and I'm dying to find out. I'd never imagined we'd end up with two tiny ones, though. It's funny. You try for an heir for years and then they come out like buns from the oven. A girl and a boy. But we should have known that darn ritual would have consequences. We've been through so much. We will get through this as well. The wall is getting ready. The outpost is almost set up. Once we deal with Jakob and Kefka, you and the prince will have my full attention. And the princess! I know it's hard to juggle the needs of the kingdom with the needs of our family. You're right. We'll get through it. Cool. I will speak with you later. Take care, honey. Great. Let's check in an hour. Our son. Here is my strong little bear. My little Ernie. This used to be Losulia's cradle. Good thing we kept it around. We've been so lucky this past year. Not one, but two little potatoes. And a king's successor at last. Yeah, but you could also just have a queen successor. But, you know, that's beside the point. Let's go to the council room. Speaking of queen successors. and see what's up with our daughter. Yes, father? My mother wanted... Your mother, not my mother. Your mother wanted me to check up on you. Are you kids behaving? Oh, good thing you're here, father. I have an idea to give Asalia a proper welcome. Do you want to see? Of course, silly pickle. Give me your best. Timo, just like we practiced, you got this. Yes, would you, I like water. So close. Let me try. It's not fair. You caught me off guard. Your Grace, what a long day it has been. If you could... if you could pass me this mug, Your Grace. Oh, I am so thirsty. Alright, we're gonna indulge her. Now, would you like me to pour you some wine, milady? Is there a chance you expected something to happen with the mug? Oh, we forgot to put water inside. Ah, this is too hard. We should have stuck to reading. Ah, you're right. This is not good enough. Father, what do you think? Would that impress Asalia when she comes here? Are you worried? Your sister will be happy to see you. Don't worry too much about trying to impress her. Besides, are you sure you want to welcome your sister with a prank? She always calls me Little Dumpling in her letters. It's been over a year since she went adventuring. I need to prove to her that I'm not so little anymore. Asalia was the queen of pranks. The only way to beat her is at her own game. You've given me plenty to think about. Thank you, Your Grace. Let's go, Timo. Time to see if we can come up with something a little more sophisticated. Perhaps we could ask Domovoy for help. Father told me he can be responsible for all sorts of misfortunes in the household. We need to prepare some offering. Sometimes I feel like you know more about Davin than I do. Tell me more. Oh no. Are we going to do some like weird ritual and then we're going to summon some like old god or demon or like, okay, it's fine. It's whatever. That's cool. Also something to note about the council room is that we can save here. So let's do our saving. So we can start on our lion quest. We can also fulfill things with this, but we'll do that next week. So let's have a look at the sleazy weasel. We can also just, you know, start looking in the open fields. We can also go to the dirty side roads. You know how it is. But let's check out the sleazy weasel. We need 4 supplies to explore this area, so let's do so. The king's men found the sleazy weasel, a local tavern. Surprisingly, it had beautiful dark timber ceilings and hanging flowers. Not sleazy at all. No weasels to be seen either. The innkeeper did not seem very happy to have royal units come marching in. What do you want here? We need to speak with the innkeeper about monsters and mythical beasts, because how else are we going to explain that there are lions here? The innkeeper glanced around, gave a cough and a sigh, and began mumbling under his nose. Last hunting trip of the year before the winter set off for the forest not too long ago. Passed through here, told us they were headed up north for the mighty oak. If I were to guess, they knew something, and that's where your beast is at. But it might be a tricky situation getting there. He paused. Going over the high bridge will not be an easy feat right now due to situations on the road. The innkeeper scowled pointedly at the royal agents. You can also take the long way around, through the open fields, but it will be costly, and only gods know what you might encounter. Folks at Starhu village could probably help you find a faster way. Oh, so we got new points of interest from that interaction. Agents left the inn, although rather reluctantly. I wanted to stay at the nice inn. Let's have a look at Starhu village. Another 4 supplies. Agents entered a small village, no more than 5 families sharing 2 huts and a little barn. Everywhere they turned, they saw ruined fences and rotting barrels, and the stench of cow manure hung in the air. There was no sign of a lion, but the scattering of people still made a great commotion. "My husband is missing," a woman wailed again and again. Village elder who comforted her turned to the royal agents. He told them he wanted to see the king at the Grevno castle regarding a beast and a missing person. Then he sent the agents on their way with a piece of bread. Crumbs, really. Aw, he didn't need to give us bread. That was nice of him. Right, so that kind of unlocked a village in the forest. Unfortunately, we can't explore this because this requires 5 supplies and we only have 2. So that is really unfortunate. We could also explore the high bridge later, and then of course there are the open fields. But for now, we can go into week 3. Great, now we've got a third option to use our prosperity for. We can collect taxes, we can collect supplies, and we can increase happiness. So we do need to collect some taxes, at least 18 or a little bit more, so that we can make sure that we have enough to purchase for linen, and also to make sure that Stan is back in our kind of roster, as it were. So we do need to collect quite a few of these. Let's also have some supplies because I promised a little bit of exploration. Let's make 10. And I do want a little bit of happiness because happiness makes the world go round. But I don't want to explore all of our, or at least use all of our prosperity yet. We still can't level up, so that's totally fine. And we are going to pay Stan so that he is full up for the next week. We want to get one more thing of linen, and we are just 1 coin off. So let's collect more taxes. I think 10 is a round number. And let's get another linen. And that was the last linen that we could purchase, so that's totally fine. We still have boots, we still have wine, and we have a piece of bread thanks to those lovely people at the village. And then I kind of want to just collect a little bit more taxes and use the rest to increase happiness. Great, so this is a summary of our transactions. Let's head to the next week. Week 3. We need to choose a location for the outpost today, Your Grace. Fair? I'm on it. I wonder if Sadani made any progress on her task. I love how we dote on our daughter so much. Your Grace, sir, indeed, bad omens have fallen upon our village. First, there was a terrible growling, like the very sky was tearing itself apart. Then our livestock started disappearing mysteriously. Everyone here grew sick and hungry. They say an evil beast makes its lair in the mighty oak, but 'tis haunted business indeed, and we want no part of it. Please, Your Grace, just leave this place. If you insist on investigating the mighty oak, well, we could show you the way, but we fear further curses from the beast. Perhaps you could spare some food or medicine. Even supplies would be welcome. Okay, we're definitely going to help them out. We do want to head to the Grey Tree eventually. So we're going to give Elena. And I'm just going to top it off with bread and wine. Yes. Let's do that. Thank you, Your Grace. That will certainly make it worth our while. This will certainly make it worth our while. Tell your men to head north of the village. They can find markings on the trees that will take them to the oak in no time. Great. This is scandalous. Beasts are haunting your land. And for what? Your amusement? Haven't we been through enough? They warned us. Calm yourself and get to the point. What is it that you want? How can you even ask that? Are you not the ones who let lions loose to terrorize the villagers? Is it not by your order that these new toll stations have sprouted along our roadways? You think I set beasts free in the forests. Why would I do that? What toll stations? Do not play the fool. We have seen it with our own eyes. The swans were right. You drive your people to desperation on purpose so that you can swoop in and play the hero. Don't believe the swans. I understand now. You have been tricked. The bandit gang known as the Swans have been causing chaos in the area and spreading lies to Davon's people. They are the true source of your misfortune. I knew you would try to twist your way out of this. Blast your lies. Blast your evil games. We will see who has the final say. Oh, wow. So our happiness has tanked. Well, I don't think there was really much we could say to make them, you know, see reason, but, you know, some people will just believe what they want to believe. It can be rather difficult to reason with the populace, Your Grace. Someone may be stirring up the people's discontent for their own benefit. I will keep my eye out and let you know what more I learn. Okay, more lines. Your Grace, I humbly beg for aid. My cart's been robbed. Brigands took everything, even the horse. 20 years I've been on these roads, running trades between towns. Folks trust me to keep their goods and coins safe. Yesterday, things ran late. I was still packing at dusk. No matter, I thought. Ride through the night. Deliver on time. You old fool. Should have known better than to travel after dark. Food, medicines, supplies, all's lost. Now many good people will go without, and it's all my fault. Please, Your Grace, don't make me face them empty-handed. Help me get their things back, or at least replace what was stolen. Okay, I can help. This is a dangerous request to make sure your agents avoid the ruined requests. Right. So this is a pretty difficult one because our supplies don't really help us much. So we can't kind of pad and make sure that Stan doesn't get injured. So I think no matter what we do, Stan is going to get injured not once, but twice. And this is going to be tough. And we used our food in the last one. So you'll see that there's like a little bit of consequence to actions. I like the fact that we have a chance of wound. We also have a chance of gift. And you kind of have to use your resources strategically to make sure that you can hit the right spots or avoid the other spots. So I quite like this. We do get 30 prosperity after that. Brigands are to blame, not you. This ought to make things right. Take care. Oh, merciful king, I don't deserve such kindness. Thank you, Your Grace. Okay, and we have our last guest, our last request. Let me present you with a gift, Your Grace. Oh my god. Who is that? This is a gift whose head is on my floor. This fellow is, well, he was one of the Swans. Had just about enough of these people round my parts. Heard one of them in the tavern squawking about how they run this country. No more. Them Swans really get on my nerves. So, if you like help turning some white feathers red, I'm your man. You know what? That's exactly what I need right now. Stan is sick, so let's help you. Your methods are extreme, but effective. You seem eager to get out in the field. I'm in no position to turn down the help. And I can't turn down a hot meal at the end of a workday. Simple as that. Just one thing. I don't mingle with magic. Very well. Can someone please tidy up this mess? Much better. Okay, so we got a few things to do. We need to choose our outpost and we need to check on our daughter. So before we do that, I'm going to head to the wall. We've got a quest there as well. We need to talk to the lady with the caravan. So I haven't really showed that yet, so I'm going to go and show you that now. There she is. Any news about the lions, Your Grace? Your lions are causing me a lot of trouble. You cannot imagine the trouble your big cat rampage is causing me. The local villagers are up in arms. They think I set the beast loose on them. Your Grace, it's not my fault any more than it is yours. It's them swans. They have no idea how valuable these creatures are. Careless bandits. If not for them, I'd be counting my gold from a happy Lord Vislov, and you wouldn't even know I exist. Now I'm forced to share a cut of my profits with you in exchange for help. Hardly the life I dreamed of as a girl. The situation is what it is, I suppose. We must both try our best to find them as soon as possible. Alright. Can I see the goods you have for sale? Of course. Trinkets, artifacts, food, and wine. Alright. Oh dear. We can't buy linen, but we can buy bread, and I think that contributes to camp supplies. So, let's buy some bread. That's 10 pieces of gold. Interested? Yep. Exactly what I was looking for, I think. Right, that's enough. Thank you. Bye. Let's go. Right. So, let's open up our map and do a little bit of exploring. Let's go to the northern footbridge and secure that, because we need to make a decision. Yes, bread does help. So we'll put 2 linen and bread and we can lock it in. Armed with the right resources, our men began putting together a campsite where they will wait to ambush Kefka's men. Best to report back to the advisor. Cool. So we still have 10 supplies. We also leveled up, which is quite cool. So we can maybe use that for a skill point. And I want to go to the Mighty Oak, but we can't reach it yet. So let's use 5 supplies to explore the High Bridge. Agents encountered a thick crowd, murmuring with commotion. Was it some kind of event? People threw their hands in the air and swearing was heard louder than a rooster's morning crow. Agents wasted hours trying to find a way through the crowd with no clue what was happening. Eventually, they decided to return home. Oh well. Alright. So, we can explore the Mighty Oak, but we're one short of supplies, which is quite devastating. So, we can go to the open fields. We can also go to this hidden path. Oh yes, let's go to the hidden path. Brambles and overgrowth practically hid the path, but after a few scratches, the agents saw the old oak looming at last. Okay, we got some prosperity, which is great. We're full up on prosperity. Can we explore the Mighty Oak? We still can't explore the Mighty Oak, which is unfortunate. Can't do the village and the forest, so let's check out the open fields with our 4 supplies. Endless fields of waving grain seemed to stretch out in every direction. Eventually, the agents found a path towards a nearby village. The agents' trained eyes noticed something in the mud. Big animal tracks leading toward the pastures. Ooh, okay. Nice. And we got some potatoes, which is great. But we're full up on prosperity, but we have 0 supplies. So let us exit the map, and we need to go back to the throne room so that we can tell our advisor our plans for the outpost. How can I be of service, Your Grace? I've prepared the location to await Kefka's army. We'll be setting up our outpost at the northern footbridge by the river. It offers a good balance of strengths and weaknesses. Not bad. I will send for Lord Jakob immediately. The wall is in progress, but it looks like we can easily get it done in time for his arrival. Great. And before we end week 3, we need to go to the council room to check up on our beloved daughter. Strange. Sadani is normally in here. Where did she run off this time? Okay, so our beloved daughter is not in her usual spot. Strange. Maybe let's look at the bedroom? And here's our daughter with a broom. Yes, father? Here you are. What are you doing here? Where is your mother? The queen asked us to watch the babies. I think she went to have a bath. She's strictly instructed, no touching, no making noises, just watching the baby sleep. No touching. Good. Now we know that she's here. Let's check in on Timo. I have great news for you, Timo. Your father will be back soon. We just sent for him. Oh, understood, Your Grace. Thank you, Your Grace. Aren't you happy to hear this? Very happy, but I'm concentrating. Mum instructed me to watch the prince while she takes a bath. Mum? Aww. Oh, he's blushing. I mean, the queen. She asked me to help guard the babies. And to be quiet. Understood, Timo. You're doing a great job. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Kids, stay here. Oh, and the babies are awake. Your Grace, the wall. Oh no, we were building the wall. What happened? What happened here? Magic. What else could it be? A bad spell, for certain. Guards, clear out the rocks. Search the rubble. Help the wounded. Lord Jakob is on his way. We'll be defenseless. I want a full report on the casualties, equipment damage, delays. Oh no. Oh dear. That's not a good look. All right. So that is the end of the demo. So we have made 2 out of 5 key decisions where we promised to help Lord Jakob. You will remember that. And we have hired Oleg, who is a strong arm that the kingdom needs. So with the wall collapsed and Lord Jakob on his way, one can only hope for a favorable outcome. Will you fortify your defenses in time or witness the fall of your kingdom? So we will find out when we hopefully get more, when the game releases later in 2024. For now, if you really enjoyed watching this video, perhaps you can download the demo for yourself, or you can just wishlist the game on Steam. Thank you so much for watching.